Welcome to this video lecture series on transportation engineering. In this session, we will continue our discussions on the various tests to be performed on aggregates. One such test that we will be discussing in this session is the impact test. Now we know that aggregates, they might be subjected to various sorts of impact loads during the construction phase of the roads, and these applied impact loads, they are somewhat different from those gradually applied loadings onto the pavements. Due to such kinds of loadings, the aggregates, they intend to break into smaller fragments or smaller pieces, and in order to evaluate the resistance of this impact of the aggregate, the aggregate impact test has to be conducted. So the basic aim of this test is to determine the impact value of the road aggregates with the objective in order to assess their suitability in the road construction on the basis of its impact value. Now, as we know that the toughness is the property of the material in order to resist the impact. Due to the traffic loads, the road stones, they are subjected to the various pounding actions, or we may say in general terms as an impact, and there is a possibility of the breaking of the stones into the smaller pieces. These road stones, they should be tough enough in order to resist the fracture under the given impact loadings. So here a test is designed in order to evaluate the toughness of these stones, that is the resistance of these stones to the fracture under the repeated impacts, which may be called as the impact test of the road stones. Thus, the impact test may be either carried out under the cylindrical stone specimens, as in case of the page impact test, or on the stone aggregates, as in the aggregate impact tests. The aggregate impact value indicates the relative measures of the resistance of an aggregate to a sudden shock or an impact, which in some aggregates differs from its resistance to a slow compressive load. The main advantage of performing an aggregate impact test is that the test equipment and the test procedure is very simple, and it determines the resistance of the impact of the stones simulating the field conditions. And the test, it can be performed on the site within a shorter duration. The apparatus of the impact test on aggregate, it consists of the impact testing machine with a detachable steel cup, a metal hammer of weight 14 kg with the drop of 380 mm. As you can see in the figure, we can see the impact testing machine. Second, measure for measuring the aggregates. Third, the ISUs with the SU sizes of 12.5 mm, 10 mm and 2.36 mm. Next, the balance. Then the tamping rod, and sixth is the thermostatically controlled drying oven. The procedure to carry out the impact test on aggregate, it consists of first step, that is, take the aggregate sieved through 12.5 mm ISU and retain on 10 mm sieve, and dry them in an oven for about 4 hours at a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius and cool it to the room temperature. The next step is to fill up the test aggregates in the cylindrical measure to 1/3 full and tamp it 25 times with the rounded end of the tamping rod. Then to level off the top surface of the cylindrical measure and weigh it accurately. Then the impact machine is placed with its bottom plate flat on the floor so that the hammer guide columns are vertical. The cup is mixed firmly in position on the base of the machine, and whole of the test sample from the cylindrical measure is transferred to the cup and compacted by a tamping rod, with again giving 25 strokes. Now once the specimen is being placed, will raise the hammer such that the lower face is exactly 380 mm above the upper surface of the aggregates in the cup and allowed to fall freely on the aggregates. Now we'll have to give 15 number of blows at the rate of 1 blow per second. Once the blows are being given, then we'll have to take out the sample and sieve the whole material through the sieve of 2.36 mm IS sieve. Now we'll have to wait the sample retain on 2.36 mm IS sieve and the fraction passing through 2.36 mm IS sieve as well. The total weight should be less than the original weight by 1 gram. Otherwise, we will have to repeat the test. Hence, in order to get the impact value of the aggregates, first we will have to take the total weight of the aggregate sample filling the cylindrical measure, that equals to W1. Second, weight of the aggregates passing through 2.36 mm sieve after the test, that will be W2 grams, and weight of the aggregates retained on 2.36 mm sieve after the test, which will be W3 grams. So in order to get the aggregate impact value, we have to use the formula W2 upon W1 multiplied by 100. That is the weight of the aggregates passing through 2.36 mm sieve after the test, that will be W2, divided by the total weight of the aggregate sample filling the cylinder measure, that is W1. Here we will have to test in all at least 3 samples to get the mean aggregate impact value. The allowable limits as per the Indian Road Congress for the aggregate impact value in percentage is, if the aggregate impact value is less than 10%, then the aggregates, they are exceptionally strong. If they are within the range of 10 to 30%, then the aggregates are strong. Whereas if the aggregate impact value is in the range of 20 to 30%, then they are satisfactory for the road surface. And if it is greater than 35%, then the aggregates, they are weak for the road surfacing. Next, we shall discuss on the shape test on aggregates. Now, the aggregates, they are available in various sizes and shapes. And the shape of the aggregates, it might be rounded, angular, cubical, flaky or elongated, etc. Now, the flaky and the elongated particles, they have the less strength, less bonding and less interlocking and durability as compared to the cubical or the angular or the rounded particles of the same size. And it can be said that the aggregates which are flaky or too thin compared to their average sizes, that is the mean dimension. And elongated aggregates means the aggregates that are too long as compared to their average size, that is the mean dimension. So the flakiness index test and elongation index test are to be performed in order to find the flaky and the elongated aggregates. The importance of this test is to check the flakiness index and the elongation index in order to determine the shape of the aggregates, and it will be defined in percentage by weight of the aggregate particles to the mean dimension of the thickness and length of it. So the aim of this test is to determine the values of flakiness and elongation indices of the coarse aggregates with the objective to check the suitability of the given coarse aggregate sample. Here the flakiness index of the aggregates is the percentage by weight of the particles whose least dimension, that is the thickness, is less than 3/5 or 0.6 of their mean dimension. The test is not applicable to the sizes smaller than 6.3 mm size of aggregates. The apparatus for the flakiness index, it consists of the standard thickness gauge as shown in the figure. The rectangular apparatus with the perforations in it is called as the thickness gauge, whereas the above side we can see the length gauge. The procedure to carry out the flakiness index test is as follows. The sample is sieved with the sieves mentioned in the table. The procedure to carry out the test on the aggregate for flakiness and elongation index consists of, first, for the flakiness index, we have to take an aggregate sample of around 200 pieces of any size and weight it. Now we'll have to gauge each aggregate on its length as well as its thickness gauge. We have to take the weight of the aggregate which are retained on the length gauge to find out the elongation index, and the weight of the aggregate which passes through the thickness gauge to find out the flakiness index. Now, calculating the percentage of the aggregates passing and the initial weight, it will be called as the elongation index, and we'll have to calculate the percentage of the retained aggregates and their initial weight. This will give us the flakiness index. Next is the specific gravity and water absorption. The specific gravity of the aggregate is defined as the ratio of the weight of the aggregates to its weight of equal volume of water, and it will show the strength of the aggregates. The aggregates having the low specific gravity are generally weaker than those with the higher specific gravity values. The specific gravity test helps in order to identify the stones. The water absorption gives us an idea of the strength of the aggregates, and the stones having more water absorption are more porous in nature and are generally considered unsuitable unless they are found to be acceptable based on the strength, impact and the hardness test. So the aim of the specific gravity and water absorption test is to determine the specific gravity and water absorption values of the given coarse aggregate sample, with the objective to check its suitability of the given coarse aggregate sample for the road work. The apparatus of the specific gravity and water absorption test, it consists of a balance of capacity of about 3 kg to weight accurately 0.5 grams and of such a type and shape as to permit weighing of the sample container when suspended in the water. Next, a thermostatically controlled oven to maintain the temperature of about 100 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Third, a wire basket of not more than 6.3 mm mesh or a perforated container of convenient size with thin wire hangers for suspending it from the balance. Then, a container for filling the water and suspending the basket. An airtight container of capacity similar to that of the basket, and a shallow tray, and 2 dry absorbent cloths for drying the aggregates. The procedure includes the following steps. First, we have to take in about 2 kg of the aggregate sample, which will be washed thoroughly to remove the fineness, drained and then placed in the wire basket, and we have to immerse it in the distilled water at a temperature of about 22 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius with a cover of at least 5 centimeters of water above the top of the wire basket. That means when the stones within the mesh bucket, they will be immersed into the water. At least 5 mm water cover it should be present. Now immediately after the immersion, the entrapped air will be removed from the sample by lifting the basket containing it 25 mm above the base of the tank and allowing it to drop 25 times at a rate of about 1 drop per second. Then the basket and the aggregate should remain completely immersed in the water for a period of about 24 plus minus half hours afterwards. Now the basket and the sample are wet with the while they are suspended in the water at a temperature of 22 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius. Now in case if it is necessary to transfer the basket and the sample to a different tank for weighing, then it should be jolted 25 times as described above in the new tank in order to remove the air from the before weighing it. Now this weight is noted while the sample in the wire mesh is suspended in the water as W1. The basket and the aggregates are then transferred to one of the dry absorbent cloths, and the empty basket is then again taken to the tank for a tank of water, jolted 25 times and weighted in the water as W2. The aggregates, when they are placed on the absorbent cloth, they are to be surface dried till no moisture could be removed by the cloths. Then the aggregates, they are transferred to a second cloth spread in a single layer, and they are covered and allowed to dry for at least 10 minutes until the aggregates are completely surface dry. 10 to 60 minutes drying it will be needed to make the aggregates surface dry. Now these aggregates, they should not be exposed to the atmosphere or the direct sunlight or any other source of heat while they are being surface dried. Then a gentle current of the unheated air, it may be used during the first 10 minutes in order to accelerate the drying of the aggregate surface. The surface dried aggregates are weighted as W3 grams. The aggregates are then placed in a shallow tray and kept in an oven at a temperature of 110 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. Then it is removed from the oven and cooled in an airtight container and weighed as W4 grams. Now to calculate this water absorption of the aggregates, we'll have to first weight of the saturated aggregate suspended in the water with the basket as W1 grams. Second, weight of the basket suspended in the water W2 grams. Weight of the saturated aggregates in water, that is Ws, which will be equals to W1 minus W2 grams. That means to get the saturated weight of the aggregate, we'll have to subtract the weight of the basket suspended in water from the weight of the saturated aggregates suspended in water with the basket. That means W1 minus W2. Then next we'll have to take the weight of the saturated surface dry aggregates in air, that will be W3 grams, and lastly the weight of the oven dry aggregates in air as W4 grams. Now to find out the specific gravity, we can use the formula of W4 upon W3 minus Ws into 100, and to calculate the water absorption, we'll have to use the formula as W3 minus W4 upon W4 multiplied by 100. In all, we'll have to test at least 2 to 3 samples to get a mean or average value of the specific gravity of the aggregates. The application of this specific gravity and water absorption test is that the specific gravity of the aggregates normally used in the road construction, it will be in the range of about 2.5 to 3, with an average value of about 2.68. And the high specific gravity of an aggregate is considered as an indication of an high strength, and it is not possible to judge the suitability of a sample of the road aggregate, such as aggregate crushing impact and abrasion values. The water absorption values with the ranges from 0.1% to 2% of the aggregates normally used in the road surface are normally used in the road surfacings, and the stones with the water absorption up to 4% they are used in the base courses. Now generally a value of less than 0.6% is considered desirable for a surface course, though slightly higher values are allowed in the bituminous constructions. The Indian Road Congress has specified the maximum water absorption value of 1% for the aggregates to be used in the bituminous surface dressings and in the built-up spray grouts. Here from the table we can see the property of the aggregate, the type of test and the test method according to the IS specifications. For the crushing strength, the hardness strength, the toughness test, then for the durability, for the shape factors, then the specific gravity and porosity, and the adhesion of the bitumen. With this we shall stop. Thank you.